Welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, June 8, 2015. I'm Lafern Fraser with the details. A 5-day workshop on the reduction of post-harvest losses in root crops, namely dasheen and sweet potato, got underway here today at the Fisheries Conference Room. Some 40 stakeholders in the agricultural sector comprising of farmers, traffickers and farmers cooperatives are participating in the workshop, which is supported by the Food and Agriculture Organization, the FAO, through its 2-year technical cooperation project aimed at the reduction of post-harvest losses along the food chain in the CARICOM sub-region. According to FAO consultant Majid Mohammed, though the CARICOM governments have emphasized increasing food production to ensure food security, they are yet to create solutions to deal with food losses, which he says negatively impact their economies. Mohammed says the workshop will be instrumental in rebuilding and strengthening economies across the region and to assist farmers in formulating appropriate solutions for quality management and loss reduction strategies.
A significant amount of food is lost all along the food value chain, from the farm to the fork. And this results in a reduction of income to farmers and all other stakeholders. It also results in the aggravation of hunger. And inputs such as seeds, fertilizer, irrigation, water, human labor then becomes compromised. This affects the poor, as a high percentage of their disposable income is devoted to food expenditure. This situation has to be addressed. It has to be reversed.
According to the FAO consultant, in developing countries such as SVG, more than 40% of food is lost or wasted at the post-harvesting, handling and processing levels, while a similar percentage is lost at the retail and consumer levels. According to Mohammed, these high figures show the serious need to reduce food loss and wastage to improve the global food security and raise farmers' income.
If left unabated, food losses and waste can have an impact on food security, food quality and safety, and the economic development and the environment. It is due to these facts that since 2013, FAO, in collaboration with the CARICOM Secretariat, developed a 2-year technical cooperation project entitled Reduction of Post-Harvest Losses Along the Food Chain in the CARICOM sub-region. The project aims to contribute to the food security in the CARICOM region to reduce post-harvest losses for sustainable economic growth. The overall project outcome is increased capacity of CARICOM member countries to sustainably reduce post-harvest losses.
The Ministry of Education, in collaboration with UNICEF, will be conducting a 4-day workshop on developmental assessments and monitoring, tracking progress in the early childhood development sector beginning tomorrow. The workshop, which ends on Friday, June 12th, targets key stakeholders in the Ministries of Education, National Mobilization and Health, Wellness and the Environment. The workshop is specifically geared at training participants in the areas of screening, assessment and referral of young children with the overarching aim of administering intervention in the early years. Facilitating the workshop is Professor Maureen Sams-Vons and her team. The workshop, which is being held as part of the 2015 Child Month activities, will take place at the Kingstown Methodist Church Hall and begins at 8:30 a.m. each day. The MRI 6 group, which comprises of Vincentian professionals, today handed over checks valuing 20,000 EC dollars to 2 organizations here. The checks were presented to the Special Olympics SVG Committee and the National Parks, Rivers and Beaches Authority to carry out enhancement work on the nursery at the Botanical Gardens. Trustee of the SVG National Trust and member of the National Parks, Rivers and Beaches Authority, Louise Mitchell-Joseph, commended the MRI 6 group for donating the funds from its 2014 fundraiser to assist with improvements at the gardens. Mitchell-Joseph says she is extremely pleased that the group saw it fitting to put the funds to good use.
his thinking, being a banker, is that if he invests in the nursery of the botanical gardens, we're actually empowering the gardens to actually be sustainable and to generate further revenue for itself, so that the gardens can become a more amazing place for Vincentians to visit and can be more self-sufficient. So essentially that was the genesis of the idea. It was a conversation I had with Mr. Eiton, and then he went back and spoke to his colleagues, Keith Boye and Derry, and then they came back to us saying, yes, in fact, we'll use the proceeds from our Carnival Fete to give to the gardens as well as to another worthy cause, which is the Special Olympics. I find often, we are all interested in having a good time and we don't think enough about worthy causes, and the fact that you guys are twinning the two is really a fantastic example, and I wish more people would follow it. So thank you on behalf of National Parks.
Representing the MRI6 Group, Managing Director of the Bank of SVG, Derry Williams, says the Carnival all-inclusive event, which was launched in 2009, has since grown to become a staple event on the Vinci Mass calendar. Williams says the surpluses generated from the event over the years have been used to make donations to various public service initiatives here.
Donations have been made as follows: linens and television sets to the Milton Cato General Hospital, the Mental Health Center, and the Lewis Punnett Home, valued at over $30,000. Financial assistance to a number of persons to assist them with medical expenses valued at $7,453.88. The net proceeds of the 2014 event, that is last year, have been allocated for distributions to two worthy causes. One, a donation of $10,000 to the National Parks Authority for the specific purpose of upgrading and enhancing the plant propagation capacity at the Kingston Botanical Gardens. And the second donation we make this morning is a donation of $10,000 to the Special Olympics SVG in support of their current effort to raise funds to send a national team to participate in the Special Olympics World Games in Los Angeles, USA at the end of July this year. The Carnival Escape event is slated to be held this year on June 28 at a new venue, Balcombs Estate, Indian Bay.
Meanwhile, Chairman of the Special Olympics Committee, Errol Allen, says today's donation restores the belief that St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be able to participate in the Special Olympics Games next month in Los Angeles.
Never lost faith in the belief that we can do so. But this morning's presentation has really served to rekindle that. We have had a very challenging time in raising $180,000 for this project. We have been on a long and winding road. And you know, long and winding roads, sometimes you don't know where they lead to. But we are confident that we are in the right direction. On behalf of Special Olympics St. Vincent and the Grenadines, I should like to thank the efforts of the donors for this very fine donation. And we hope that it would serve as a treadmill for persons within the corporate community.
9 finalists have been named to compete in this year's National Secondary Schools Miss Heritage Pageant. The biennial event, which is this year marking its 5th anniversary, is scheduled to be held in October 2015. Last Saturday, June 6th, saw the organizers of the event hosting the preliminary judging competition at the Murray Heights Hotel in Kingstown, where representatives from 9 of 11 schools made it through to the finals. The 2 schools that did not go past the preliminary judging stage were the Camden Park Secondary and the Petty Bodell Secondary. Jamisha Wright was on hand at Saturday's pre-show and spoke to the 9 finalists and the overall winner of the preliminary competition, Kanisha Llewellyn of the Girls High School.
My name is Terry John and I'm proudly representing the Intermediate High School. My feeling today is excited. I didn't think that I was going to make it to the final, but I pulled through thanks to the grace of God.
All right. How about you? What's your name? What school are you representing and how are you feeling?
My name is Azim Debrun and I'm representing the Dr. J. Memorial Secondary School. I'm feeling very happy to know that I'm the first student that will be entering for the Miss Heritage Pageant in Victoria Park from the Dr. J. Memorial Secondary.
And then and you were the overall winner today. Tell us your name, the school you're representing, and how you're feeling. And of course, if you thought you would have won the preliminary judging competition.
I am Kenisha Llewellyn and I represent the St. Vincent Girls High School. First and foremost, I am very, very proud of myself. I was expecting to be at the top because I set goals and I worked very hard towards them. So I think that my accomplishment was something that I have already set in my mind for today.
Jaqueda Oliver, representing the Becker Community High School.
All right, tell us how you're feeling to make it be among the top 9 today.
Well, I'm very, very, very happy because I put a lot of work into this simple preliminaries so I can make it to the final round. Just a simple jump from Beckway almost every practice. It was very hard and I'm so happy that I've made it to the finals.
Right. Remind, tell us your name, the school you're representing, and how you're feeling to be in the finals.
My name is Gabrielle Sawyer. I attend the Bishop's College, Kingston, and I am feeling very elated to see that I has been chosen out of 11 girls to go to the Miss Heritage pageant in October at Carnival City, Victoria Park. Well, I am a delegate of St. Joseph Common, Kingston. I am very proud of myself.
What's your name?
Randy Brown. I'm sorry about that. I'm just too excited. That is why. I hope I will go through this process. I pick up more value and morals. And I know when I hit that stage, I'm going to show all the talent that I have. Hi, my name is Ulrika Games, representing the Central Leeward Secondary School. And I'm very excited. Very excited to say that I'm representing Central Leeward Secondary School in this pageant.
My name is Joan Andrews, delegate from St. Joseph Convent, Marica. I'm very thrilled to be here. It shows that my hard work pays off and it's very exciting. I'm glad to be here.
All right. Tell us what's your name, your school you're representing, and how you're feeling.
My name is Julia Lewis. I'm representing at St. Clair Bacon Secondary School. I was a bit nervous, but no, I have just received that with determination. Everything pays off.
And this just in, the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment is advising members of the public not to purchase any drug from persons or agencies who are not authorized to do so, and if any of these persons are identified, to report them to the ministry. A media release issued by the ministry's communications officer, Nika Anderson, says it has come to their attention that a man from Union Island who is not a pharmacist and who has no such qualification nor is registered with the Pharmacy Council, William Newson, was allegedly advertising and selling sildenafil citrate, a common brand known as Viagra. The ministry's communication officer says through the relevant authorities they investigated the matter and informed Newson that his actions were both illegal and unethical, and that he was told to discontinue with this practice with immediate effect, and was issued an official letter from the Drug Inspector's Office. Anderson says the matter was also reported to the SVG Pharmacy Council and the Comptroller of Customs. She says through the Drug Inspector's Office they will continue to monitor the situation to ensure safety and best practices are observed and maintained to all members of the society. The issue of domestic violence has once again raised its ugly head and has resulted in 2 deaths on Sunday in the leeward town of Chateaubelair. In this report, Sharon Garraway says residents are baffled as to what went wrong to cause the murder-suicide.
The town of Chateaubelair on the leeward side of the island was awakened on Sunday morning, June 7th, by the shocking news that 35-year-old Shandine Monsika Johnson was killed by her former boyfriend in his late 30s, Keno Franklin, who subsequently died after consuming a poisonous substance. Reports are that around 7 a.m., Johnson, who was helping her mother, Viviette Johnson Lavier, prepare Sunday lunch, got a phone call and left the house, but didn't inform anyone where she was going.
The phone rang and she answered again. And then she went put it in the stove and thing. Then she say, Mommy, we going down here and me come back. Just that, you know. Right, so. So we got a phone call, say that the boy beat she up and unconscious, but me not chop. Yes, and himself then he say, I go and go see. He say, he can't beat up money, so I go and go see. Because after me conscious, me think so when he gonna get back, you know. So after me, you know, me hear boy come up and start to say, can't chop off money, say, what that time me get bad, you know.
It is believed that Johnson was lured into believing that a truck would be at the house she once shared with Franklin to pick up her furniture, and that she should be there by 8 a.m. Reports are that when Johnson got to the home, she discovered that there was no truck and that Franklin instead was pleading with her to renew their relationship, which ended a few months ago.
Just behind of me is where the latest domestic violence incident occurred, where Monicia Johnson lost her life. And as we hear from persons in the village, they were shocked by the carnage that occurred.
Neighbor Dolores Didi Lauren says she and her family members were awakened by screams and smoke coming from the house next door and a bloody Johnson begging for help. She says she and her son, Wante Lackmore, sprang into action by trying to stop the bleeding coming from the two deep chopped wounds behind Johnson's neck.
Much people wasn't on the block yet. So it's just me, my son, my brother, and my boyfriend bring she over into our yard. After that, I asked my son to get a towel for me, and he run and get a towel. He didn't come back fast enough, so I start calling again. After, the young lady say, "Oh God, help me." Me say, "Me help you, I will go to hospital just now." Then I turned to she and say, "Monica, what are you doing here?" Surprisingly, seeing she here and no, she not live here. She say, he key, call she and say, "Come for a chair them out my place to 8 o'clock. Now she go in the house, he say, "Monica, make back with me." They back with me. And she say, "Me nah they back with you." And he grab them, she in the pants and say, "I dead now." Jack she into the bedroom and choke she off. She say, "How much chop me get?" Me say, "Me nah know." He say, "2 times." Then she say, me drop a ground, he light the bed and he gone.
Johnson's mother, Viviette, and brother Kevin told SVG Television News that Franklin constantly stalked and threatened Shadeen, who has a 13-year-old daughter residing in England. They say they are saddened by the brutal way in which their loved one died.
Yeah, me run out the house and people hold me and thing. Yes, me some deserve that boy. Everybody. She not know it's time person, you know. No. She not know it's time street girl and them things. She not. Before that, everybody see something good about me. Friend and everything, you been with a friend, yeah?
I'm going to miss my sister and everything, you understand? I will miss she. May she rest in peace and everything like that.
After the assault, Franklin set fire to the house and ran into the nearby bushes, where he was discovered lying in a dug-out hole and barely conscious after consuming a poisonous substance. When we contacted the family of Franklin, they refused to speak to us on camera, but said they feel very, very bad by what transpired.
The recent passing of the domestic violence bill in St. Vincent and the Grenadines is hoped to help to curb the incidence of violence in the country. And as experts warn, if persons are being abused or fear for their lives, it is important to seek some form of help so that lives can be saved. Reporting for SVG Television News, I am Sharon Garaway.
And some residents of Chateaubelair who spoke to our news team say they are shocked by the turn of events and are advising persons who are in abusive relationships or feeling frustrated to get help.
Expect something of that sort from him. He was a real quiet guy. The girl also was very quiet, and you know, there were peaceful people in the neighborhood, and I was glad for such a type of neighbor, but never expect that it will turn out like that.
Anything you want to say about something like this happening in your community, about domestic violence?
I will say, if anybody thinking of doing such thing, they can think it over and realize that trouble will come at the end, and if they are not dead, they will face the penalty. So just think it over and do the best, do the right thing.
Well, the morning she called me, me asked her where she going, she tell me, Kino call she. Me say, girl, you go? Me say, sure you know what I do? He say yes. He say anyhow in a stop long. He say she want 2 sugar cake and she come back for funeral. Well, me just go in my house and me not really think, but me always tell she, if I'm me not really keep close to him, because when you hear a man tell you one thing, you have to keep.
It was very sad and shocking And the young lady, she did not deserve that kind of death. It was very scary. It got me last night. I could not have sleep. And it was so painful. I could not easily take it on. And it is very sad, and she didn't deserve that kind of death. And she was a nice person.
And any advice to somebody who's been abused or think they might be abused?
To be aware. When they're going around and they have the friend and they cannot go anymore, is to leave and get to some official person to talk about it.
And senior counselor at the social service institution Marian House, Wendell Paris, is also advising persons who are being abused to seek help before it's too late. In an interview with SVG-TV, Paris says there are institutions such as the Family Court which issues protection orders to keep abusers away from victims. The counselor outlined various types of domestic violence in the home and says persons should not suffer in silence.
You have children being abused by parents. You have spouses being abused. You sometimes have violence from children on other children. Sometimes sibling rivalry can become very serious. So once it's in a family setting, it's regarded as domestic violence. Apart from Marian House, there's the Family Services Division, part of the Ministry of National Mobilization. There's the police, of course, that you can always talk with. There's the family court. At the family court, you can go seek advice, you can make applications for protection orders, you can make other types of application and have the court deal with your matter. Those are the major areas where you can seek help.
According to Paris, not only must victims seek counseling, but perpetrators as well.
Is struggling with a problem of anger, struggling with other stressors in his or her life, and what they need is not being lectured. They need to be listened to so that you can help them to identify their problems and get the help that they need. So I think even perpetrators of domestic violence who have problems and don't seek help, their chances of acting out and implementing their thoughts and their plans to hurt could easily happen if they're not seeking help. So if you are angry and you're consistently angry and you need help, you think you need help, you should come seek help.
And police are investigating the circumstances surrounding the death of Nicholas Duggan, a 19-year-old unemployed man of Connery, whose body was discovered lying in the Connery River at about 5 p.m. on Sunday. A post-mortem examination is expected to be performed on the body of the deceased. The vigilance of female police constable Endell Hadaway at the Grenadines Wharf on Friday, June 5, 2015, led to the arrest of Diana Gordon, a domestic of Barrowley, on a charge of possession of a controlled drug. She was reportedly intercepted with 841 grams of marijuana on the date in question. The female officer was at the time conducting searches on persons traveling to the Grenadines. When Gordon was searched, the marijuana was discovered in a box of cornflakes. When she appeared at the serious offenses court this morning, Gordon pleaded guilty to the charge. A fine of $2,000 was imposed upon her to be paid forthwith. In default, a 9-month jail term will be imposed. In other court news, a jail term of 9 months has been imposed upon 22-year-old Glenroy Ballantyne, a laborer of Green Hill, by Chief Magistrate Rachel Brown Matthias on 2 separate charges of ammunition possession. When Ballantyne appeared at the serious offences court, he pleaded guilty to possession of 3 12-gauge cartridges and 8 rounds of .38 special ammunition. The defendant was arrested and charged for these offences following the execution of a search warrant at his Green Hill home on June 6, 2015. During which time the ammunition were discovered in his bedroom. Carnival Beat is coming right up. Miss Rose Hall, Felicia Ashton, last Friday night walked away with the first ever Miss Leeward title, a pageant hosted by the North Leeward Sports Association at the Pettibodale Secondary School Hard Court. Ashton won the Best Swimwear, Best Talent, Best Evening Gown categories of the competition. She was also voted the most community-spirited contestant. First runner-up went to Miss Leyu Lanisha John, who won Best Interview and was voted Miss Congeniality. Second runner-up went to Miss Kettles, Camille Myers, who won the Facebook Choice Award. Other contestants in the pageant were Miss Barreley, Brianne Gloucester, Miss Chateaubelair Zeshane Adams, and Miss Fitzhughes Melanie Woods. Masqueraders took to the street for Juve from Pettibodale to Fitzhughes following the crowning of Miss Rose Hall. The Lime Evening Street Party brought the curtains down on the official carnival activities in North Leeward. Raga Soca and Soca artists who are interested in participating in this year's competition, organized by the Carnival Development Corporation, are asked to note that registration forms are available at the CDC's office. Registration for both competitions closes on Friday, June 19th, 2015. The preliminary judging would be held on Monday, 22nd June at the Victoria Park. The competitions would be held on Saturday, July 4th, of 2015 at the Victoria Park. The CDC says all registration forms must be accompanied by a copy of the song on a CD, which should be ready for airplay. Artists are also reminded that the registration fee of $30 must be paid to the SVG-CA Inc. Failure to do so would result in the non-judgment of the CD. That's Carnival Beat this evening.
Oh,